Everybody, in the series of books by great philosophers, we have another great philosopher, John Locke, who is supposed to have been the cause of the causes of the founding fathers of the greatest country in the world, according to me, the United States of America, having been founded, heaven on earth. The cause of that is John Locke. And this is called Two Treatises of Government. Book one is called An Essay Concerning Certain First Principles, and the first chapter is on slavery and natural liberty. And we'll start with that. I'll just read word by word as we're doing it here. And we believe as a policy that there should be no middleman between a great book and the reader. And all that we can do as educators, maybe even this is also foolish, is to read it out well. And in this process, maybe have a kind of sharing of what we love it in it. Book one, an essay concerning certain first principles. Chapter one, on slavery and natural liberty. One, there is one, two, three, four. There is to write like that. Slavery is so vile, cruel, and evil, and miserable an estate of man, and so directly opposite to the generous temper and courage of our nation that it is hardly to be conceived that an Englishman, much less a gentleman, should plead for it. Should say that there should be slavery. And truly, I should have taken Sir Robert Filmer's Patriarcha, the name of the book, as any other treatise, which should persuade all men that they are slaves and ought to be so for such another exercise of wit, as was his who wrote the Encomium of Nero, rather than for a serious discourse meant in earnest. He says, I can't prove that this is wrong. Had not the gravity of the title and epistle, the picture in the front of the book, and the applause that followed it, required me to believe that the author and publisher were both in earnest. So he thought it was just a joke, but then he realized that they're talking about slavery in earnest. So he said, I wanted to make my point. I therefore took it into my hands with all the expectation. And read it through with all the attention. That's what I'm saying as educator. Read it word by word. All the attention due to a treatise that made such a noise at its coming abroad, and cannot but confess myself mightily surprised that in a book which was to provide chains for all mankind, I should find nothing but a rope of sand, useful perhaps to such whose skill in business it is to raise a dust, and would blind the people the better to mislead them, but in truth, not of any force, to draw those into bondage who have their eyes open and so much sense about them as to consider that chains are but an ill wearing. How much care soever hath been taken to file and polish them. This is very, very, very great writing. I'm just baffled and stopped. Every time I read this passage, frankly, I'm telling you, I feel I'm reading it for the first time. This is the quality of literary power which comes from years and lifetime of study. And that is a gift. Greater than a song, greater than everything. He's talking about again, the temptation to come between. See? We must read. And I would like to stop here actually. I'm realizing now that philosophers and great books should be short. Each video should be short. We have already covered 4 minutes. That's because of the introduction and all. And we have covered 1 page. And there are 300 pages, 250 pages. There'll be 250 videos, each of 3 minutes. It is worth it to read 10 philosophers, 20 philosophers only, just 50 books, 100 books, 50 non-fiction books, this way. It's worth it for this good student. I know a student would love this. if he listens to it, if somebody is guides him and say, please listen, I'm 100% sure he'll love it. How can he not love it? That's what Descartes said in another video. We all are same. We all don't have more reason or less reason. We all have reason. As Aristotle said, all men desire to know. This video is the first video. It has gone a little longer. All the other videos will be short. It is, I call it GSL. Some of my friends, great artists and thinkers said that the word is nice. Guided self-learning. I think it's the word is nice. Till we all, whole world learns everything and ends history. That is the power I get when I read such books. Thank you so much.